It is day one of an SAP implementation at Acme Manufacturing. The project team assembles in the client's conference room. Around the table sit 12 slight consulting consultants. Some of them spent yesterday in a workshop with Acme's finance team, mapping out their purchase-to-pay process. They are taking notes, drawing process flows, and asking questions about approval thresholds. Those are the functional consultants. Others have their laptops open with Eclipse ADT running. They are writing ABAP code against a technical specification that arrived yesterday. They have not spoken to a client yet today, but what they build will determine whether the custom aging report the finance director needs actually works. Those are the ABAP developers. And somewhere in the building, a third group is logged into the basis console, importing last night's transport from the development system to the quality system, and checking the overnight job log for failures. They keep the engine running. Those are the basis administrators. 3 tracks, 1 project. Every SAP implementation needs all 3, and the best consulting teams know how to work across them. By the end of this module, you will be able to describe the day-to-day role of a functional consultant, an ABAP developer, and a basis administrator. Identify the tools, skills, and certifications associated with each track, and understand how the 3 tracks collaborate across the SAP Activate project lifecycle. Every successful SAP implementation rests on 3 pillars working in concert. The functional consultant is the bridge between the client's business and the SAP system, translating workshops, interviews, and process walkthroughs into SAP configuration. The ABAP developer is the builder, writing the custom code that fills the gaps where standard SAP configuration cannot meet the client's requirements. The basis administrator is the foundation, running the technical landscape that keeps every other workstream operational. 3 tracks, 1 project. The best consulting teams know how to work across them. Functional consultants do not write code, they configure. Using SAP's implementation guide, accessed via transaction SPRO, they set the parameters that define how the system behaves, which company codes exist, how the fiscal year is structured, how purchase orders are approved, how stock valuation works. A typical day on the Acme project mixes client engagement with system work. Morning. A stakeholder workshop with the client's finance team on the period-end closing process. Late morning. A configuration session in SPRO, building and testing GL account assignments based on the previous day's workshop. Afternoon. Walking through UAT scripts with key users, logging defects and agreeing retest dates. Late afternoon. Updating the business process design document and sharing it for client sign-off. Every day balances stakeholder conversation against configuration in the system and the deliverables that flow from it, blueprints, test scripts, and training material. Functional consultants work across a defined toolset: SAP GUI for on-premise S/4HANA, the implementation guide SPRO for module-by-module configuration, the Fiori Launchpad for the modern tile-based UX, Solution Manager for project documentation and test management, and Microsoft Excel as the ubiquitous workhorse for data templates, gap analysis, scope matrices, and training plans. Functional consultants specialize in modules: FI for finance, CO for controlling, MM for materials management, SD for sales, PP for production planning, HCM for HR. Most slight consultants start in one module and broaden over time. SAP offers certifications for each module: C_TS4 FI for finance, C_TS452 for MM procurement, C_TS460 for SD, C_THR12 for HCM, C_TS422 for PP, and slight support certification costs for consultants meeting performance milestones. ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming, is SAP's proprietary programming language. ABAP developers write the custom code that fills the gaps where standard SAP configuration cannot meet the client's requirements. Those gaps are known as RICE objects: reports, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and workflows. Every SAP project has a RICE list, the custom developments that the functional consultants have specified and the ABAP team must build. A typical day mirrors what is on screen. Morning. Reviewing a technical specification handed over by the functional consultant. Mid-morning. building and unit testing the object in Eclipse ADT using the RESTful application programming model. Afternoon, peer reviewing a colleague's BAP wrapper and releasing tested transports to QA. Late afternoon, fixing a UAT defect, typically a number format on a SmartForms output, and retransporting. The primary tool for classic ABAP development is SE80, the ABAP workbench, with SE38 for reports and SE11 for the data dictionary. SAP's direction, however, is clear. New development should use Eclipse ADT and follow the RESTful application programming model RAP, building extensions on BTP rather than modifying the core. This is the clean core principle that SAP is enforcing across all S/4HANA Cloud editions. Alongside RAP, the modern stack includes ABAP Cloud and the BTP ABAP environment for writing ABAP against a restricted, future-proof API set, CAP, the Cloud Application Programming Model, for Node.js or Java side-by-side extensions on BTP, and SAP Integration Suite to replace point-to-point interfaces with managed integration flows. For ABAP developers, this shift requires a significant skills investment. The language fundamentals remain the same, but the architecture, the tooling, and the deployment model are different. Slight Consulting's ABAP developers are supported through RAP and BTP training as part of our L&D program. The ABAP certification C_TAW12 validates core development skills, with C_BAP available for the BTP ABAP environment. SAP Basis is the technical foundation on which everything else runs. Basis administrators are responsible for the SAP system landscape, the development, quality, and production systems, and for everything that keeps those systems healthy and operational. A typical Basis day on the Acme project starts with a system health check via SM21 and SM50, confirming overnight background jobs completed cleanly. Mid-morning brings transport management, importing approved changes from DEV to QA via STMS after functional sign-off. Early afternoon is user and role administration, creating accounts in SU01 and assigning authorization roles in PFCG for new project joiners, and auditing access logs. Late afternoon, applying an SAP support package to the sandbox system, documenting the steps, and scheduling the QA application. Basis sits at the intersection of the project manager, the security team, and the wider IT organization, and typically owns the DEV to QA to PRD landscape end-to-end. Basis responsibilities fall into 4 areas: monitoring, checking system health via SM50 and SM66 for work processes, SM21 for the system log, and ST22 for ABAP runtime errors. Transport management, moving approved changes from development to quality to production through STMS, with SE09 and SE10 for organizing transport requests. Security, creating and maintaining user accounts via SU01, building authorization roles via PFCG, running access audits, and analyzing failures with SU53. And system operations, applying support packages with SPAM and Saint, performing system copies and refreshes, and using SAP Solution Manager or Cloud ALM for monitoring and IT service management. In the cloud world, some traditional Basis responsibilities shift. SAP's cloud infrastructure team handles hardware and operating system management, but Basis consultants adapt, managing BTP subaccounts, monitoring SAP Cloud ALM dashboards, and coordinating upgrade windows with SAP. The skill set evolves. The role remains essential. Key certifications include C_TADM_23 for system administration and C_HANATech for HANA 2.0 SPS 07. The 3 tracks do not work in isolation. They depend on each other at every phase of the SAP Activate lifecycle. Discover and prepare. Functional consultants lead fit-to-standard workshops and lock scope through the project charter. ABAP developers assess technical feasibility and define the technical architecture and development standards. Basis consultants run the landscape assessment, then build the DV, QA, and PRD systems and the transport routes between them. Explore and realize where most of the work happens. Functional consultants design the process and configure in DV, then build UAT scripts. ABAP developers receive functional specifications, plan the development, and build and unit test every object. Basis manages transport requests and role builds, ensuring only approved objects move between systems, with the right authorizations in place. Deploy and go live. Functional consultants support user acceptance testing, training, and cutover. ABAP developers transport to PRD and provide hypercare support for defects. Basis executes the cutover plan, importing production transports in sequence, validating system health, and giving the green light for go live. The consultant who understands all three tracks, even if they specialize in one, can have better conversations, anticipate cross-track dependencies, and deliver more integrated solutions. That is what Slight's training program is designed to build. At Slight Consulting, every consultant starts in one track, and we build a deliberate career path for each. Functional consultants progress from intern or junior consultant to consultant and module specialist to senior consultant and process lead, and on to manager or solution architect. Slight supports this growth through shadowing on live projects and client-facing exposure from week one. ABAP developers start as junior developers learning through code reviews, grow into developers who own their objects, become senior developers and tech leads, and progress towards architect roles focused on BTP and clean core extensions. Slight invests in Eclipse ADT and RAP exposure and pair programming with seniors. Basis consultants begin with monitoring tasks, take on transports and role administration as basis consultants, progress to senior landscape design, and grow into architect or cloud ops roles. Slight provides hands-on sandbox access, HANA administration training, and SAP Cloud ALM onboarding. Across all three tracks, the expectation is to develop enough literacy in the other two to work effectively across the whole project team. That cross-track fluency is the Slight consultant's signature. 3 distinct tracks. 1 project. Functional consultants bridge business and system. They configure, document, and test. ABAP developers build the custom code that fills the gaps, increasingly on BTP using RAP and CAP rather than inside the core. Basis administrators run the technical landscape, transports, security, monitoring, and go live. Collaboration between the 3 tracks is not optional, it is structural. The functional consultant writes the spec, the ABAP developer builds it, and Basis transports it. Nothing ships without all 3. The quality of the integration between functional, ABAP, and Basis teams often determines whether a project succeeds or struggles. Clean core is shifting where ABAP lives, moving custom development off S/4HANA and onto BTP. ABAP developers must learn RAP and BTP extensions. Functional and Basis consultants must understand the new integration patterns. Head to the LMS and complete the quiz to test what you have learned. The final module covers the 3 fundamental data types in SAP: configuration, master, and transaction data, and the dependency chain between them. It is one of the most practically useful concepts you will take into your first project.